Good evening, ladies. Welcome tonight. This is the Baptist for Her Women's Wellness page on Facebook, and we are so glad that you have joined us tonight for a really fun, chill, cool vibe as we refresh, as we renew, and as we refocus for 2021. I am your host tonight. My name is Jenna Braddock. I'm a registered dietitian and trainer in the St. Augustine, Jacksonville area. And it is my honor tonight to lead us in a little group movement, as well as some meditation and some thoughtful time as we set ourselves into the rest of this year. I had a lot of fun planning our movements tonight and even some music. And so we'll talk about that just in a moment. But I am not alone today. I get to do this fun workout with you virtually, as well as with some ladies live tonight. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, as we'll all be doing this together. The three of us will always be live through this whole thing. So go ahead, Lisa, introduce yourself.
Hi there. My name is Lisa Bradford, and I'm the RN health coach for the For Her program. So I'm excited to be here.
Welcome, Lisa. We're so glad you're here. Lisa is an amazing health coach. If you have not taken advantage of her services through the For Her program, you are really missing out. And so now we have Diana. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Rosito, and I'm a wellness coach with the Baptist Healthy Living Centers.
That's awesome. Welcome, Diana. We're so glad to have you. Now, ladies who are with me, Lisa and Diana, as well as ladies out there watching and joining us virtually, I'm curious, do you all have any experience with yoga or yoga movements? Anyone? You can leave a comment and let us know. Is this new? Are you a little nervous? Or are you a seasoned pro when it comes to yoga? Lisa, what about you?
I've done some yoga. I'm not a pro. I know I need to do more of it. So I'm excited for tonight. I'm thinking of this as a reboot.
Awesome. Love it, Lisa. What about you, Diana? What kind of experience do you have?
Very minimal. And so that's why I was looking forward to this, because I kept saying, I need to try yoga. I need to try yoga. I think I've done yoga maybe a couple times, but it's been honestly more than 10 years. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Awesome. I'm so glad, Diana. I know that there's probably a lot of women joining us or watching who probably have very similar experiences. And I truthfully, would not call myself a yoga pro by any means, but I really enjoy the movements that you do in yoga and how it makes my body feel. And I'm excited to just share some very basic, very English words with you about how to do some of these movements. And I really hope that they help your bodies feel great too. So we're going to get ready to get started. If you're joining us, we would love to hear from you. Tell us your name and where you're watching from. This is going to be a super gentle, very chill vibe as we go through this. So I am personally in a little bit of comfy clothes here. I mean, they're stretchy and flexible, but nothing where we're going to really sweat it up tonight. It's more about really keying in on these words that we've chosen for tonight. So I'm looking at our time tonight as 3 blocks. The first will be a refresh time, and that's where we'll do some of these movements to really get the oxygen flowing, moving our bodies in ways that open up our tight muscles. Then we'll spend a little bit of time renewing our mind, thinking a little bit about the past year. What are some things that are significant from that? And then our last block will be a few moments to refocus for the upcoming year. And I'll have a few more questions for us to still stretch and move while we think about them, but also meditate on what we're looking forward to in this coming year. So how does that sound, everybody? You guys ready for that? Okay, so before we begin, I just want to let you know, and we are going to drop this link here in the chat, but I have put together a playlist for our whole time together tonight. And it's called Refresh, Renew, and Refocus. I'm just going to pull it up here if I can get it without a glare. It is on Spotify. And this is a special little playlist I have put together for our movements tonight. And so if you can pull this up with that link If you already have it, that's awesome too. And I'd love if you could just play it in the background. I'm going to play mine just super lightly just so I can follow my movements, but I don't want to play the music out loud here because it just does not work real well. But if you'd like to join us, this is a shareable public playlist, and I'd love for you to try it out. And if not, if you don't have access to Spotify right now, or you didn't plan for that, please check it out after the event. Okay, so we're going to start on our standing position, just comfortable in the middle of our mat. We're just going to do a few standing movements as we prepare. So if you have your playlist, go ahead and press play on that guy so that it is going. And you've got that fun little movement going in the back. All right, so we're going to just stand with a nice little bend in our knees. We're going to put our palms open so that we are receptive and open to this time together. And we're going to do what's called just mountain pose. We're going to close our eyes. We're just going to start breathing, thinking about the breath, and really just trying to focus our mind on our bodies right now. Sure, we're coming with a lot of stuff from the day, things we have to do tomorrow. For us women that have multiple roles, there's always something else to think about. But we're just going to start with 5 nice deep breaths in this comfortable open position. And I just want you to think about your breath. So I'll let you breathe on your own. 5 nice deep breaths. All right, one more. Great. And then open your eyes here. Okay, we're going to do a few sunflowers now. And so this is just a really fun, loose, fun movement to get oxygen flowing and our muscles just a little warm. So I'd like you to take a wide stance with your feet, a little bit bigger than your hips, kind of like a sumo squat. If you've ever done this, kind of gentle bend in the knees. We're going to inhale up with our arms nice and big. And as we exhale, we're going to go down into a little bit of a squat. And then inhale, come up, reach for the sky, and exhale as we come down, okay? Inhale up, and exhale down. All right, now I want you to do this in your own movement, in your own body motion here. To your breath, inhale up, exhale down, and just have fun with it. Take it up to the tempo of the music if you want, or take it slow, whatever your body feels like. In and out, really just having fun with the movement, stretching, getting that oxygen flow. If you happen to have your playlist going, this is a really fun song to do this movement to. All right, give me 3 more here. Great. Now let's take our feet in, and we're just going to go in and out of a little chair pose. Now we call it chair pose here because it's like you're sitting back into a chair. Now I know if you've got creaky knees or hips, we don't need to do something real deep and dramatic here. We're just going to go back into just a little mini squat. If it's comfortable to go deeper, great. But if you want to keep it up here, that's fine. So we're just going to go inhale, back into chair sit. And exhale, stand. Inhale. Exhale, stand. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Now keep going. When you go back into that chair, I want you to tighten up your core, support it. Don't let that belly bulge. Don't let that butt stick out. Really kind of keep it nice and tight. All right, give me 2 more. Good. All right, how do we feel? Are we feeling a little bit warmer? Some nice oxygen going through? Awesome. All right, now we're going to do just a really simple, basic body flow where we go from a standing position down to the mat, do a plank position, a down dog, and then back up. Okay, so I'll cue you through this first one. I'll cue you through them all. But if you're like, I'm not sure what's going on, we're going to do this a few times so that you can feel more confident with each time. So I'm going to turn to the front of my mat. Feet are hip width apart. Okay. We're going to breathe up, arms raised to the side, exhale and forward fold. So we're just going to bend at the waist, hands go down to the ground, forward fold as deep as you can go, but don't push it. We don't need to be painful here. Then inhale, bring your hands up towards your shins, extend that booty out a little bit, give me a nice flat back. It's called monkey pose. And exhale, we'll go back into that forward fold where we release that. All right, now we're gonna inhale and take our feet back into a full plank pose. Okay, so here's where we are. We're a nice straight board, belly is tight and engaged. If you need to go down to your knees here, by all means, please do. That's completely fine. Try to keep that butt from going straight up in the air. We're nice and flat. We're gonna take a breath here, inhale, exhale, and as you exhale, just slowly lower down to the floor. Belly touches all the way down. All right, then we're gonna inhale and just bring the chest up just a little micro bend, nothing big. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, send your rear up into the air, bend into like a pike position, adjust your feet as needed, and we're in what's called down dog. So push against the earth, against the ground. Try to push your heels slightly into the ground. Rear goes up into the sky. We're really releasing the shoulders and the lower back here. Inhale, exhale, bring your feet back towards your hands into forward fold. Okay, hands are on the ground. Nice job, ladies. Inhale, hands to shins, flat, extended back. Exhale, go back down into forward fold. Inhale, swoop the arms up, reach high to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer position to your heart. All right, how we do, ladies? How was that? Give me a thumbs up. All right, good job. We're gonna do that 2 more times, the exact same thing, all right? Are we doing good? All right, hopefully we'll feel more loose with each time we do it. So here we go. Inhale, arms go up. Reach for the sky. Exhale, fold to the ground. Hands to the ground. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Once again, hands to the ground. Inhale, take our feet back, full plank or down on your knees. 1 full breath here, in, out. And on your next exhale, slowly lower down to the ground. Or fast if you need to get there quicker, that's okay. Inhale, just take your chest up ever so slightly, little micro bend. And exhale, tuck your toes, rear goes up to the sky, push with your hands against the ground. And this time, just pedal your feet back and forth. So take one heel to the ground and then alternate to the other one. See how that feels on your back of your body. That feels good. And then on your next inhale, let's take our feet towards our hands once again for forward fold. Exhale, hands go to shins, flat back. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale, bring your hands back up, swoop them up, reach high. And exhale, prayer hands to your heart. Is that feeling any better? Was that a good one? All right, we've got one more together. Here we go. Oh, excellent. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms go up to the sky and reach. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the ground. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, fingers to the ground. Inhale, hands, feet go back into plank pose. Give me nice strong shoulders here. Exhale, lower slowly to the ground. Inhale, gentle micro bend up with your chest. Exhale, tuck those toes. Reach your rear up, push against the ground. And pedal those feet out one more time. Back and forth, alternating sides. And both feet down. Really push against the ground. Stick that booty up in the air. Resist, push against it. On your next inhale, take your feet towards your hands. Exhale. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swoop the arms up, reach for the sky. Exhale, prayer hands, heart. Take them down to your heart. All right, how's that feel, ladies? Does that loosen up a few things?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to do just one more standing pose. It's one of my favorites because I'm always tight here. Okay, so we can either do a pyramid pose or also a triangle. And really, the big difference is how wide your legs are, in my opinion. And so it just kind of depends on how your body feels. So we're going to start going to the left. So your back right foot, I want perpendicular to the back of your mat or just to the wall. Then we'll take the left foot and point it forward. Okay, and if you need it close, because we're about to bend, you can take it closer. If you got wider, you can go wider here. Okay, so we got front foot is pointing, back foot is perpendicular. All right, so now we're just going to extend our left arm out, and we're going to just keep reaching as we get this bend in our waist. And when you're like, that feels good, then we're just going to go down towards our shin, our ankle, or to the floor, whatever is comfortable for your body. And you should feel a really nice stretch down the inner and back side of your legs into the bottom of your glutes as well. I just love this stretch. All right, so just take some deep breaths here. And if you'd like, you can keep your hand here on your hip, or you can take it up to the sky, reaching that arm up, opening your chest a little bit, extending out. And now when you take your inhale, I want you to think of yourself like a balloon animal. And when you breathe, inflate your shape. Breathe some life into it. See if you can just reach a little bit more. Fantastic. All right, so bring that right arm back down to the ground if it was reaching up. Bend your left leg to get out of this. And then just use your abs to lift your torso up here. Good. How was that? Did you guys enjoy that? I love that stretch so much. All right, so now we're going to switch to the other side. So back leg is going to be parallel. Right foot, if you're with me, the same side, is going to be facing forward. We're wider than hip distance here. Okay, so left hand can start on the hip. We're going to reach our right hand and just extend and feel that natural bend happen. And once you feel like you're in a good place for you, take that right arm down to the shin, the ankle, or the ground, whatever works for you. You'll probably feel different over here than you did on the other side. Breathe into that. And if you'd like, take that left hand up to the ceiling. Inflate that shape of your body with a nice deep breath. Yeah, this side definitely feels different for me. I am not as tight over here. I don't know if your body feels different. Good job, ladies. All right, take that left arm down to the ground to help us get out of this. We're going to bend that right leg and then use our abs to just bring our bodies up. Woo, good job. I got to get a little drink of water. Please drink at any time if you need it. All right, now we're going to go down to our mat. And we're going to do a little bit of mobility as well as strengthening exercises. So this is what we call a tabletop position. because you just look like a table. So hands are going to be under our shoulders. Hips are at a 90-degree angle. And so right now, ladies, what I want you to do is to engage your core muscles here, all these belly muscles. The way I like to think about it is if you're zipping up a real tight pair of pants, okay? And you got to suck in a little bit. So have that be your visual, okay? So tighten up that core. And we are going to do a bird dog here. So bird dog is where we extend the opposite arm and opposite leg. This is a really wonderful movement for strengthening our back. For those of us that suffer from back pain, this is awesome for it. So we'll inhale, and as you exhale, you extend. I'm sorry, I'm backwards. Inhale, extend. Arm and leg, palm is facing inward, back toe is pointing. And then you exhale, return it back down. Now, if this is challenging for you to keep your balance, because we don't want our hips to wiggle all over the place, you can just do the foot, just extend and lower, or just the arm portion as well. So you can break up this movement as you gain more strength. All right, so let's go to the opposite side. Inhale, extend, left arm, right leg. Reach for the two walls. Exhale, return. Okay, back to the right hand. Right hand, left foot. Extend. Good. And lower. Remember, you can just do the legs at one time if that's better for your body. Back to the opposite side. Left hand, right foot. Extend. Keep those hips real stable. Use that core to keep you in place, and lower. So I'm going to show you just the legs now if that's what you need to do. Extend the left leg, right arm. Basically, we want all these muscles engaged. So from the tip of your finger to the tip of your toes, you should feel all those muscles kind of squeezing and hugging in. Return it down. Other side, left hand, right foot. Extend. Hug in your muscles from your fingers to your toes. Okay, let's do one more each side. Here we go. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, return. Inhale, left hand, right foot. And exhale, return. Great job. So that is an awesome exercise to do multiple times a week to really strengthen that back. How we doing, girls? We feeling good?
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of spine mobility work as well. I'm a person that suffers from back pain, so I like to take care of my back, and I know a lot of us do as well. So we're just going to do some cat and cow movements. And these may seem super simple, like what in the world does that do? But it's actually really important to have a healthy spine and to keep us nice and mobile and agile with our spine and help prevent that pain. So cat, we're just going to go into a cat-like pose. So inhale to prepare. We'll inhale and we'll take arch our back up, pushing against the ground with our hands, bringing our tailbone towards our face, really engaging all those muscles, stretching them out. And then as you exhale, we're going to reverse that movement, stick our booties out a little bit, let our stomach kind of cave down, head goes up, shoulders go down, and we have that opposite shape of like a U. And then inhale back into cat. Arch that back, squeeze in, tuck that tailbone, and then exhale, reverse. Take the belly down, booty gets stuck out, shoulders come down. All right, let's do one more of each. Here we go. Inhale, cat. Enjoy that shape. And then exhale into cow. Awesome. Okay, we're going to end with two more movements. So you can swing around your legs. We're going to do it from our booty position here. And I think these are really fun movements. Okay, so before we get into maybe a little bit of centering in with some deep questions, let's just have a little bit of fun and playing with our bodies. So we're going to do the happy baby pose. Okay, and this one's kind of funny. I do it with when I train groups of people. We finish this one and it always makes us laugh because it's just funny, but it's just such an enjoyable happy motion. So we're going to go down on our backs And just like how a baby loves their feet, we're going to enjoy that shape as well. So we're going to take our heels up towards the ceiling. And as you can, try to reach for the inside of your feet here. If you can't reach, you can grab your ankles or your calves and just gently tug on your knees towards your chest and feel those inner muscles of your groin area stretching and relaxing. And then have a little fun with it. Rock back and forth, all the sides. Maybe do a little circle with your feet, both directions. And just enjoy this very silly position that we never do as adults, but is so great for our bodies. All right, so just roll with it. Hopefully that feels really good and just fun to do such a silly position. All right, so release those feet. We're going to keep our knees kind of close into our bodies now for our last refreshing movement here. We are just going to roll like a ball. And again, this is something to have fun with. It feels silly. It feels childlike. That's kind of the point. We do a little bit of goodness to our back as we roll back and forth on it. We're just going to grab our knees and use some momentum to roll up onto your tailbone and back onto your back. Now, you don't need to go too far back over your head, but whatever feels good, just kind of roll back and forth. And if you lose your balance and fall to the side, it is no big deal. This is first and foremost about having a little bit of fun. Second, about using our core, being kind to our backs. And again, just not a motion that we do in our everyday life as adults, which I think is kind of fun to add in. How's your balls over there, girls? How's rolling like a ball? There's no editing in live videos. They look awesome. It's fun, and I'm so glad we're laughing too. All right, give me one more. And then we're just going to stay up in our seated position. You guys look amazing. All right. Ladies, how does your body feel after doing those movements to refresh?
It feels amazing. I really know now that I need to do more yoga because I'm just very stiff and I shouldn't be.
Yeah. What about you, Lisa? How you feeling?
My back feels so much better. Yeah, I think working from home and then just different office chairs has done a number on my back this year, or last year. So this was great.
Awesome. Well, and this is such a great routine that you can do in the evening. I mean, yes, we've done the sunflowers, which can take our heart rate up and our oxygen, but nothing of this was super strenuous. So it's a really nice way to relax your body. It could potentially become part of your nighttime ritual, even to just relax your body before you go to bed. So just real simple movements that can be really impactful. And I'm so glad you felt the benefits, and hopefully you did as well. If you're joining us, we'd love to know as well. Do you feel any different, any better as a result of those movements we did together? All right, so we're going to head into our block number 2 tonight, which is our renew. And so this is just going to be where we're going to connect kind of with where we are at right now, maybe how the past year has impacted us. So what I'd like us to do, we're just going to start with some simple deep breathing. I'd like you to take one hand and just put it on your chest, wherever's comfortable, and one hand on your belly. So this is just a nice little cue to keep our minds connected to our breath and what we want it to do, and not get too carried away with thinking about something else. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to cue a little breathing for us. All right. So we're going to just take a nice deep inhale, and I want you to think about expanding your rib cage out and wide, not necessarily up right now. So nice deep breath in through your nose or mouth, whatever's more comfortable. Hold it for 2 seconds and release it. Squeeze it out. All right, same thing. Inhale, expand that rib cage. Hold and exhale. Again, inhale, expand. Hold, exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale, expand. Hold and exhale. So if you happen to be following along on our playlist right now, our song is Shake It Off by Florence and the Machines, not Taylor Swift, although that's a great song too. So I want us to think right now just about shedding off anything from this past year that maybe it's time to get rid of. Maybe it's time to take off. So let's think about that. What is something that you need to let go of from this past year? What's something you're still holding on to that is just not really helping you or serving you well anymore? So let's just keep breathing on your own. You can keep your hands on your chest and belly if that's comfortable, or you can put them on your knees, whatever works for you. But I just want you to think about what you might need to shed off from this year. Maybe it's an emotion. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a boundary. Maybe it's a commitment, an overcommitment. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's something you really wanted that didn't happen. Disappointment. If that thing, that feeling, that situation is just not serving you anymore, as you breathe out, just think about letting it go. I know it's not as simple as just breathing it out, but we can be intentional about what we let affect us on a daily basis. So just think about, I'm letting go of fill in the blank. All right, and if you can't think of anything, that's okay. There's no pressure with these questions at all. And I'm going to ask a few different questions because one question may resonate with you better. So here's another something to think about. Was there anything that you relied on too much in 2020 that you used it maybe to make you feel better, but it ultimately wasn't a positive thing? And we can laugh about all the memes we saw about 2020 and the coping mechanisms we used last year to help us get through. So maybe it's something like wine, which would be my personal thing that I relied on way too much in 2020. Or maybe it's another food. Maybe it was a movement. Maybe it was isolation. What was something you relied on too much in 2020 to make you feel better that's not really good anymore? Is there anything? All right, and now I'm going to ask a little bit more positive questions now too, but I think it's always important for us to really evaluate, where am I? What am I allowing to affect me right now? And am I okay with that? Is it still working for me? So now what I'd like you to think about, again, we're still deep breathing. If you need to be touching your body, please do. If you'd be more comfortable doing this laying down, by all means, or in a chair, it's about being comfortable for your body. So this next question is, what is something you learned last year, or a way in which you grew in the circumstances of 2020? So let's take a few breaths and really think about that. What's something you learned in this past year, or a way that you've grown in 2020? All right, and our last question here, as we think about renewing and what 2020 has done in our lives. Has anything positive blossomed in your life this past year? Something good that you now have, that you possess inward or literally in your life, that is just a really good thing from 2020? Awesome. All right. Well, ladies who are with me, Lisa or Diana, would either of you be willing to share maybe something you've learned in this past year or something you've grown in this past year? I know I'm putting you a little bit on the spot, or if there's another question you'd rather answer, that's totally fine too. Anything come to mind, ladies?
So, yeah.
Go ahead, Diana.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so I think for me, the most difficult thing, that was more present in 2020 was fear. And we all know what happened in 2020. So that fear also grew and was more intensified. And so it was challenge for me and something that I had to learn to overcome. But now I'm feeling more inner peace and joy, because I also learned a lot about myself in 2020.
That's awesome, Diana. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know I can relate to what you said, and I'm sure a lot of other people can as well. That's so awesome. Thank you. Lisa, what about you?
It's pretty much the same as Diana. I guess the unknown of 2020 that just kind of kept going. And I challenged myself to not get caught up in it and to honestly just be more positive and not worry. Try to not worry about tomorrow, but be present in the day. And I tried to focus more on my inner peace and wellness too. It kind of backed us in a corner in a way and challenged me. So
thank you so much, Lisa. That is beautiful. And I love that picture of just being backed in a corner by 2020 and all the different events. And that's exactly what we're talking about in this time, is like, are we ready to kind of say, all right, I'm getting out of this corner. I can do this. We don't know what the future holds, but I'm tired of standing over here in the corner. So that's such a beautiful word picture. I'm really going to take that with me. I think that's awesome. All right, so we're going to move into the final time, which is refocusing. So we're going to do a little bit of forward thinking now. And to your point, Lisa, we have probably all learned from 2020 that even when we plan and prepare for the future, we still have no idea what's going to happen. And we certainly can't control it. So for all my ladies out there who have an issue with control, raise your hand. This is all of us, I think, in some way or another. We want to control these things in our life. And we've certainly learned that there's only so many things that you actually can control, if any. So we can't necessarily know what the future holds for us. But what is something that you're focused on for this year, you're excited for, or maybe you're anticipating this year? So I know for me, 2020 was about a lot of disappointment, a lot of canceled things and can't do things. And while we are still facing some of those challenges, I have personally learned to be excited about small things as well and really be present in them. So what is something that you are focused on, excited for, or anticipating this year? And once again, close your eyes, put your hands where you're comfortable. Go ahead and lay down if that's a better position for you. We can have open hands. Body posture is important for our attitude. And just take a few breaths and think about, what are you looking forward to, anticipating, or excited for this year? All right. So as we go into our last couple of questions, we're just going to do some gentle movements while we think about them, because I know some people are kinetic learners and like to move while they think and learn and process. So we want to honor that as well. So what we'll start by doing is just doing gentle side bends. So hand goes down to the floor, reach up with this opposite hand, lifting the rib cage up, and then just switching sides. And you can hold each side as long as you'd want, or if you just kind of like to move side to side, you can do that as well. So while we're doing this, I want you to think about, do you have a word or a phrase for this year? Now, I know this is a practice that many do. It doesn't resonate with everyone, and that's okay. But is there a word or phrase that has come to mind as sort of an intention for the year? Maybe a purpose for the year. All right, so think about that as you just gently move and side stretch. I will share. So I like having words for the year. That's something that's been meaningful for me, but I'll be honest, my words were not real clear in the first month of January. And so I've just kind of been taking some notes as I hear things that impress me, press upon me. And so I'm kind of keeping a collection of more like sentences for this year and what's going to be meaningful to me. All right, so the next movement we're going to do is just a seated forward fold here. So we'll take our arms up to the ceiling and then just kind of gently go down to the ground, almost like you're a wave crashing down. And then you'll roll up your spine and your head, roll your shoulders back, reach up to the ceiling, and then crash back over your legs. So while we're doing this really lovely wave-like motion, I want you to think about who or what is most important to you this year. All right, so we may not be able to control all the circumstances or any of the circumstances, but we can identify and be strongly connected to who or what is most important to us this year. How are we going to give that who or what our best energy, our best self? I have found in my work with a lot of people doing purpose work that most people will say, my family is the most important people in my life. However, the decisions and the actions in their life don't actually support that. So I want you to take a minute to really connect with the people or things that are truly most important to you, because it really brings clarity for our life. All right, just one more forward fold here, crashing through. Who or what is most important to you? Bring that head back up. All right, our next movement we're going to do, and this is our last movement as well as our last question for you. And this one's a little bit of a tough one. So if you're not able to really identify this right now, this is your little bit of homework for you as we leave tonight. Okay, so we're just going to do some neck rolls. So just real gentle. You can do a full 360 here if that works for your neck, or you can just do the half circle from shoulder to shoulder, really getting out some of these kinks that we hold in here. All right, so here's my tough question for you. That is a really good exercise for you to do anytime when you're just feeling really disconnected with what's important to you. And the question is, what are 3 words that describe your most important core values or beliefs? And just 3 words is all you have. So maybe it is family. Maybe it is faith. Maybe it's generosity. Maybe it's service or sacrifice. Maybe it's creativity. Maybe it's patience or love. Think for a moment, what are 3 words? If I had to boil all that I was about down to 3 little words, what are my 3 core beliefs? What would I describe them as? I told you it was a hard one. Keep stretching. All right. And as we finish with that, sit up tall and now just kind of move your body, whatever feels good to you. Like wiggle it, stretch it, roll it, twist it, whatever kind of movement, silly or serious, doesn't matter. Just move your body around, kind of connect with all those movements, things we don't do with our bodies on a regular basis. You can cat and cow while you're sitting. So if that's a little more comfortable than being on all fours, you can totally do that too. All right, so ladies, last question on the spot for you. Would you be willing to share, if you have them, one of those words that you would use to describe a core value if you're comfortable? And it's totally fine if you're not, because I'm totally putting you on the spot. Diana?
Yeah. I have my 3, but I can share one if you.
You can share them all if you
So,
want. I would love to hear them all.
Okay. Yeah, so family for me is number 1, and compassion and service.
That's amazing, Diana, and that you're so clear and quickly landed on those. So I know that those are so important to you, and I am certain that that's really ingrained in so much of what you do. Thank you for sharing that. Lisa, do you have a word or words you'd be willing to share?
Yes, I can only think of one right now because I'm still debating in my head. Truth.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great word. I love that, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing. I will just share one of my core belief value words is investing. And by that, I mean, I feel very called to invest in lives, invest resources and things that are important. And so that's really a core word for who I am. So thank you for sharing. And I hope you were able to identify at least a word. But if not, definitely pull out your journal tonight, tomorrow morning, and start jotting down words. You might start with a really long list, and that's great. But try to whittle it down at the very least to 5. But if you can, really boil it down to those 3 words, because knowing what is your core values, knowing the people and things that are most important to you, doesn't necessarily make decision-making easy this year. What it does is make it clear. And that is so important. When we have clarity, we have intention, and we have purpose. And even when our world around us is in disarray, when we are connected to those things, my core values and the people and things that are most important to you, decision making can become so much more clear, even when things are in complete shambles in other areas of our life. So I hope that was a meaningful exercise for you. Again, if it just didn't happen for you tonight, take some of these questions back and really ponder them, maybe over the weekend even, and start writing some of those things out. So ladies, Diana and Lisa, thank you so much for joining me. This was really fun to do it with you. I hope you feel better, you feel refreshed, renewed, and refocused tonight.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And if you joined us, thank you for joining us online. You can listen to this and watch this back after this event is over. It will be housed here on the Baptist Women's for Health page. And if you enjoyed this, would you share it with someone? Maybe it will help and them, and they will enjoy it as well. And if this is a great exercise and you just really connected with it, incorporate this into even your weekly or monthly rhythm of movement as a way to not only feel good in your body, but also connect more deeply with your soul and your heart. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was such a pleasure. Again, I'm Jenna Braddock. I am so privileged and honored to work as alongside of the For Her program. You can find me online at jennabraddock.com or Make Healthy Easy on Instagram. And please follow the Baptist For Her program as well here on Facebook and share with a friend. So thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you again very shortly.